Hey guys, what's up? I'm currently working on another N8N tutorial and I know you guys want that, but this week has been absolutely crazy when it comes to AI launches. 2 days ago we had Google I/O. Yesterday we have effectively Johnny Ive, the designer of the iPhone, being poached by Sam Altman's OpenAI indirectly, which was pretty crazy. And then today we wake up and Anthropic has launched Claude 4, which they claim to be a huge update. And if you don't know, Claude has been neck and neck with Gemini 2.5 to be the absolute best coding model that everyone's using. Now, personally, I don't do a lot of coding in general, and even when I create end-to-end automations, I often ask ChatGPT to help me out with certain parts. I have a little bit of experience, but in this video, I just want to show off the technology, some cool stuff you can do if you have no idea how to code, and just to start to vibe code and understand how the platform really works. So here we have Claude. As you can see, it looks very similar to ChatGPT, and basically all the platforms look very similar to each other. Here we have Claude Sonnet 4 and Claude Opus 4. I'm just going to pop you into a command that I did a few minutes ago where I said create a fun platformer game with neon graphics. That's the only thing I gave it to go off of. And this is what it created. And the only modification I did was I said move the yellow orbs slightly lower so they're easier to hit, and you'll see why in a second. But I'm going to be showing you the game that it created. And it's actually, not only is it impressive that it created it, but this is genuinely a pretty good, challenging game, at least for the first few levels. So let me just show that off really quick. So, it programmed the physics, it made it neon, it has this little trail that it coded into it all, and I'll show you some of the details in a second. You have the arrow keys, and then you have that enemy, which is that little red circle right there, and then we have to collect all of the things that look like coins or orbs. And it's a little bit tricky because of how fast it moves, but as you can see, I got those two. Let's see if I can get this first try. There we go. Now we hit level 2. It's even harder because this one is very hard to avoid with that platform. Okay, I'm actually doing way better on this demo than I was before. Okay, now we have the next level. This one is like virtually impossible. We'll see if I can do it. Okay, we got that one. We got that one. I'm probably going to die when I hit this if I can. There we go. Oh my god, I'm doing so much better. This game is actually a lot harder than I guess I'm making it look. I'm just doing a lot better on this stream. I didn't even know that one was possible. Okay. And then I died falling in to the bottom right there. Okay, so in this right side tab that you see right here, we're currently looking at the game rendering on HTML as a JavaScript game. And then if we go to this other tab, it shows us the actual code that runs the game and what the AI agent created. And you can scroll down, and for example, we can do a Control F for level. You could see level starts at level 1, your score starts at 0, and then if we scroll down a little bit, you can see it calls the next level function, and it makes the speed potentially change when you are on the next level. And then I think it pushes another monster. So I just did this basically to kind of see how it worked and how many levels there are. To my understanding, every time you beat the level, it just creates a new one and then adds another enemy. But I'm actually going to be asking Claude, and I'll see how it responds. Yeah, so it says there isn't a fixed number of levels, and it actually explains everything it does. So it's super cool how you can interact with it in this way. And let's do a request where we modify the game a little bit. So please change the positions of the platforms and create a... Alright, we'll just send it like this, see what it does. Alright, so it's going through the code right now, switching up the positions of the platform. Let's see if it does anything else or just does that version. Okay, and as you can see, oh, I guess it's still working on something. Okay, nope, it still wants to change stuff. Maybe it's, I'm not really sure. Okay, it added more platforms, zigzag pattern. The first jump is more critical. Okay, so as you can see, it followed the directions actually really well, created this new level, and let's just for fun play it really quick. And I died, and I died again. And this time, nope. As you can see, the controls are a little bit more. Okay, yeah. So, anyways, that's the new level. That's basically what you can create with just one simple prompt. And now I'm going to try some other ones that other people have done. Alright, so that I believe it was on Opus. Let's try Sonnet. I have no idea how the two models are going to differ when it comes to doing something simple like this. But I took this prompt, create a full version of Tetris with beautiful graphics and controls, make it neon themed. So I just added the neon thing at the end to make it a little unique, but let's see what it comes up with. Alright, starting the artifact, which is the part on the right that has all the code. And I'm going to leave this in real time so you can kind of see how fast it creates it. Because I know a lot of people comment and they're like, why don't you show the AI doing it and see how long it is? But sometimes I don't because it takes a while and I don't want to make the video super boring. And I also want to be able to edit it quicker. So, here we go. I created the game. Now, I did fast forward after I stopped talking by 4x because I didn't want it to be too long, but gave it about 2-3 minutes maybe, and it created this. So then we hit up to rotate. That's a little bit weird of a command. Not ideal pieces at all to start with. Space to hard drop, and as you can see, it stuck to the neon theme. Created the full Tetris, very similar to, or if not exactly the same as normal Tetris. However, don't think I can do a hold. So I can even ask it if I can create that feature for me. But you get the idea. Full Tetris. Here I'll show you all the code. This easily would have taken a human coding this out many hours to do, without a doubt. Let me just ask. We'll see. Can you create a feature to hold one of the bricks like the real game? Alright, let's see if it can actually interpret that command. It'd be pretty crazy if it does. Alright. Oh. It looks like it is making progress on this. It looks like C is going to be the thing I use to hold the piece. Okay, let's just test it right now. My recording is kind of covering up the screen a bit. Okay, well, the reality is when I asked for this feature, it broke the game. But you can see it had the right intention. It created this little hold thing right here. Obviously, a little bit of work is going to have to go into making this operate correctly, and it's throwing these errors that you can see down here. But proof of concept, I mean, nothing like this would have been remotely possible previously, and there's potentially one little prompt I could do to fix it. One of the things I learned starting this channel is there's so much technology coming out so fast, and the only really way to handle it is to just subscribe to as many things as possible, or use the free versions of as many things as possible, and to just get familiar with it as it grows, because these things are updating every single week. So here's the benchmarks that Anthropic dropped on Claude 4. There's two models, the Opus 4 and the Sonnet 4. And as you can see, oftentimes people say that benchmarks are completely made up or don't really mean a lot, which is somewhat true. But they are claiming that they're the best agentic coding, agentic terminal coding, graduate level reasoning, agentic tool use, multilingual Q&A, visual reasoning, and high school math. So even though Claude is mostly used for coding related stuff, it can handle pretty much any task that you would have thrown at ChatGPT, and it's very neck and neck, I think, when it comes to a lot of those.